Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another match review. This is Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. If you see the background, I've said it in a couple of my other videos. Currently on vacation, so hopefully the connection's okay. You might hear my dog start going crazy because he's been really weird with all of the strangers that he's been encountering. So apologies about that. But I did want to put up a match review about the game because Chelsea, even though we drew, honestly, it just feels like a really good game, and I'm leaving feeling so positive about the results. Even though it's a draw, it feels like if we could have gone on to win it. I actually felt that we had the better of the opportunities as well, and that feels really good to see. It feels good to see that the players were giving their all, that the attack was looking good and everything. So let's get into this. If you like my channel, if you like my videos, drop this video a like so that other people can find it as well. Comment, interact. It all helps me out so much. And let's get into this match review. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen and just taking a look at the starting 11, because this was really surprising, at least in my opinion, from Maurizio Pochettino. I predicted a back four because that's the formation that we've seen in every preseason game, but he opts for a back 3/5, which is the formation that Chelsea arguably have looked the most comfortable in last season. Looking at maybe the weaker midfield, since they haven't nailed Caicedo yet, he hasn't been able to join the team yet. I can understand why he would go with this formation in this game versus Liverpool. I don't think that we're necessarily going to see this back 3-5 going forward all of that much, maybe until we get that DM position really sorted. So, as expected in goal, Robert Sanchez. I don't really have so much to say about him. He had a bit of a shaky moment towards the end when he cleared the ball, and Darwin Nunez got a really good opportunity off of it. Then a back three of Levi Colwill, Thiago Silva, and Axel Disasi, with Reece James and Ben Chilwell on either side of them. A midfield pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Conor Gallagher, and then in those attacking roles, Carney Chukwuemeka, Raheem Sterling, and Nico Jackson. So I think what was really interesting here was that Conor Gallagher was actually more of the sitting or holding midfielder rather than Enzo Fernandez, which is something that I didn't suspect. But it allowed us to see exactly what Enzo Fernandez is capable of and what he can do. And I thought that this was his best performance in a Chelsea shirt. And so I'm just personally, oh my God. Oh, hi. I'm personally really excited to see what he has in store, where we could see him going, because I just felt that he was so incredibly strong, picking out some really good passes as well. Going forward, he almost scored at one point, so I feel that this is the best that we've seen him in a Chelsea shirt. So imagine him partnered with Caicedo. I mean, that would just be incredible. Let's take a look before I get into some more of the game. Let's take a look at some of these stats here. So expected goals, was it the exact same expected goals? This is insane. I think this is the first time that I've ever seen that happen, that the expected goals are exactly the same, 1.28 for each side, which is just crazy. Chelsea dominated possession, which was better for my heart, honestly. 10 shots, Liverpool had 13. But interestingly enough, Chelsea had 4 shots on target and Liverpool only had 1. So the only shot that they had on target was the goal, which I think speaks a lot to just how dominant Chelsea were. And I personally thought that Chelsea were the much better team. 4 shots off target to their 7. We had 2 block shots to their 5, equal in corner kicks as well. Big chances. Chelsea had 4 and 3 big chances missed, which just hurts my soul. We did have so many opportunities in this match, but I find that really interesting as well. Accurate passes 87%, long ball 67%, crosses 27%. So, talking a little bit about the game and kind of my expectation going into it, like I felt that Chelsea and Liverpool were going into this at pretty equal points. Sorry if you can hear any background noise. I'm not alone in the house. So, hopefully, you can hear me okay. We're like in a shared house with a lot of people. Um, and I felt that it was going to be a pretty equal match. And that's exactly what I felt that we've seen. The Liverpool actually started the game a lot better. I was extremely nervous going into this game. Liverpool had the much better opportunity. They had more possession as well, and it just felt that Chelsea were taking a little bit to get accustomed to get into the game. It felt that they were slicing through the midfield. But then once it hit 15, 20 minutes or so, felt that Chelsea started to get a handle back into the game. Obviously, Mohamed Salah scores on the not Mohamed Salah scores, Luis Diaz scores at the 18-minute mark. And it was honestly, I felt that the assist from Mohamed Salah was even better than the goal, arguably. I mean, it was just absolutely world class. Um, and the thing that I think is that I wanted to note on this was maybe Levi Colwill could have had a better positioning on Mohamed Salah. It looked like he was struggling in the first 15, 20 minutes or so to mark him. Obviously, that's a really big task to make your Chelsea Premier League debut against and be marking Mohamed Salah. And then for him to he got the better of him in that moment, but Salah's world class. He put in one of the best balls that I think we're going to see. And then I felt like going forward, Levi Colwill did much better against Mohamed Salah. And on the Luis Diaz goal, I did feel that maybe Disasi or Reece James could have done a little bit better marking that as well. 1-0 to Liverpool. But the really important thing I think to note here is that you didn't see Chelsea sag. You didn't see the body language sag. I felt like if this were last season, they would have scored 1-0, and this game could have easily ended 3 or 4-0 because the Chelsea players would have been like, up, here we go again. And I didn't get that at all. I felt that Chelsea really started to fight, and that's something that Pochettino has instilled in the team. So I'm super, super happy to see that from them as well. Archie came around here with something. He was around here. I'm live. Um, and then taking a look at the taking sorry guys, taking a look at the second goal, Mohamed Salah had a really, really great goal. I thought that Levi Colwill got a bit lucky because I don't think that he was necessarily holding his line, but rather like realizing that that was like his last stitch attempt, knowing that he had been beaten and then just stepping forward. And he got really, really lucky. And for me, I think that it makes a big difference when the game goes to 1-1 or 1-0 instead of 2-0. My dog's got something in his mouth, and my husband's just carrying him. Um, so I felt that that was potentially a really big turning point in the game because if Liverpool go 2-0 up, it can be more difficult to get back into the match. But honestly, great response from Chelsea. And then we get a Chelsea goal from Axel Disasi, Ben Chilwell with a brilliant header into the box. And he got just enough of his body on the ball in order to slot home. And then about a minute after that, Ben Chilwell scores. And he's taking up much more advanced positions under Poch as well. Oh, and we saw him playing almost as a striker for those couple of moments that he was able to score. So I thought that that was really, really interesting, really cool to see from Ben Chilwell. Unfortunately, got chalked up for offside. 2 goals chalked up for offside that were really, really slim. So honestly, I wouldn't have been upset or surprised to even have this game be 2-2. But honestly, I was really happy. And I think like what you could notice in this first half is that the midfield for both teams was lacking a bit. There wasn't so much of a defensive presence in the midfield. It was going end to end a lot. And I think that highlights why both teams are looking to get Caicedo into their teams. Hopefully he's announced at Chelsea because I think when we have Caicedo in Chelsea are going to be able to play a back four, have another attacker on the pitch, and just release Enzo. I honestly can't say enough like how impressed I was with him, and I knew that he had this in him, but just to see his vision, him going forward, we're seeing that he's on corner kicks now, which is massive. I think he's on some indirect free kicks as well. Which is really interesting to see. So let's take a look again. I just like looking at like some, well, first we can take a look at like the player statistics. It's a little bit difficult because they've all just like changed numbers now, but we see Ben Chilwell, Reece James getting really, really, really far forward. Raheem Sterling at the number 7, Enzo much farther forward than we've seen him in the past couple of months, and then Nico Jackson and number 7, oh, Chukwuemeka. Nico Jackson, just like let me talk about him for a second. Like, I think that this guy is so freaking good. I thought he was so unlucky not to get a goal contribution in this game because he was looking sharp. The runs that he was making, just breezing past players. He has incredible speed as well. He had one really, really good opportunity from a Reece James cross in that he just skied over. And I think on another day that could have been the winner for Chelsea. But I was so impressed with what I saw from Nico Jackson. And like, I know that Chelsea kind of just signed him and they were maybe looking to sign another striker. I don't think you need another striker. Like, I think Nico Jackson is going to be your guy. So I was super, super impressed with him. I felt that Chukwuemeka had, like, some positive moments. I didn't notice so much from him. I think he started the game a little bit shakier, but then he grew into it, and obviously, it's not going to be perfect, his, first match or, like, getting adjusted to the pace, but for him to start against Liverpool, I think speaks a lot about him, and hopefully, we're only going to see him improve as well. I felt that Conor Gallagher looked a bit shaky, in that pivot as, like, the defensive player in the midfield, which is why we saw the midfield getting sliced open. But he made some really important recoveries off of the ball as well. So if we look at accurate passes, Thiago Silva, Disasi, Fernandez, and Conor Gallagher, and then Colwell all topping here. Duels won, Konate and McAllister are topping it, but Ben Chilwell also won the same amount of duels as they did, and ground duels won, McAllister again topping it, and then Raheem Sterling attempted 10-1-3. I do feel that for Raheem Sterling, maybe we could see him. I don't feel that we've seen the best out of Raheem Sterling. I'll put it that way. I felt that he looked better than he did in preseason, but I just felt that sometimes he was running into the defense or maybe taking a touch too much. So I'd like to see him improve his decision making a bit. But overall, I think that he looked better. But I'm really excited to see like what Madueke can do when he's fit as well. So, in terms oh my god, in terms of shots on target, Nico Jackson had 2 shots on target, 2 shots off target. He had 2 successful dribble attempts out of 2, so 100% dribble rate, and he missed 2 big chances. Ben Chilwell missed another big chance, and I'm looking where the other one was for Chelsea. I felt that we had one more, but potentially not. So I think that's just highlights what I was saying about Nico Jackson. Like, this guy is just so freaking good. Um, like, the next game, one of these goes in, I'm absolutely sure of it. Looking at dribble attempts, Carney Chukwuemeka attempted 3 but didn't complete any, and then we see Liverpool really with a high amount of dribble attempts, but Enzo Fernandez out there as well, Mykhailo Mudryk, 2 out of 2, and he was only on the pitch for about 10 minutes or so, which is so, impressive. Clearances, Liverpool topping Van Dijk at the top with 11, not really so surprising, but I do feel that this also speaks to how dominant Chelsea were because Liverpool had to make more clearances in order to deal with us. And I always just like looking at passes, so accurate passing, you see the defenders, but key passes, Enzo Fernandez with 2, Colwill with 2, Reece James with 2, and I want to look at the long balls because look at this, like this is legit insane, guys. This is insane. Enzo Fernandez completed 10 out of 11 long balls. He created one big chance. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold attempted 11 and he completed 2. Like, this is insane. Like, this guy is phenomenal. I literally can't believe it. Thiago Silva as well. I feel like he's underrated with his long passing. 8 out of 9. Levi Colwill, 3 out of 8. I think that we're going to see more from Colwill and maybe he didn't have so many because he's marking Salah, maybe didn't have so much time playing it a little bit safer, but I did feel that we saw him passing the ball forwards. And just overall in the team, I felt that we were passing the ball forwards a lot more. And it wasn't the same Chelsea that we were just trying to have possession for possession's sake, which I was so happy about. We were really having possession but having it be intentional, moving the ball forward. You saw that at any opportunity, the team was trying to move the ball forward to create spaces. And I thought that that was so interesting, like such an improvement. I think it speaks so much to the work that Poch has done with this team. Like, to have basically a totally new team because all of these players got sold in the summer. So you're starting off from scratch. You only have like a month and a half with them, and to already be so like put in such a good performance. Like I think that that is so impressive from Poch as well. Um, so yeah, 85 of you watching, thank you so much. If you like my channel, please make sure to sub. I promise I don't usually have quality like this. I'm on vacation. Give this a like, comment so that other people can find my content as well. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to be taking a look at some of your comments now. So Bradley says, how does Thiago keep on performing? He's turning 39 soon. Yeah, like this guy is insane. I really want to know what his secret is because he looks incredible. Yeah, Reece James, let's talk about him. I haven't talked about Reece James. How have I not talked about Reece James yet? Like Chelsea's new captain. That's insane. I thought that Reece looked really strong going forward. I felt that since we had like the extra defense, they gave him the freedom to go forward more. And we saw that when he was putting balls into the box, he was fizzing them. I think he had a shot, if I'm not mistaken, that looked like pretty positive as well. But he was just like absolutely making life miserable for Andy Robertson on that left hand side. Sorry, my dog is like going absolutely mad, like running around. He's trying to get outside. But I thought that he was brilliant, and I really hope that he's not injured again. Like, I really hope that it was just preventative. I think we're going to see him not playing full 90 minutes and hopefully so that he doesn't put so much wear and tear on his body. And now that we have a backup in Malo Gusto who's really, I think, strong going forward attacking wise as well and defensively. So I think that maybe we'll see him get more minutes. So that Reece James hopefully doesn't get injured. It seemed that he was okay. Like it seemed that his knee was bothering him a little bit. Like I said, I hope that it's just preventative, nothing major. And then he went and sat on the bench, I think, afterwards. So, Archie, eh, eh, baja. Sorry, guys. He just tried to jump out the window. Um, so I think that Reece looked really good, and hopefully he's fine. I think he should be okay. Um, I'm just looking through your comments. Phoenix says, "We really need a midfielder ASAP." I was low-key hoping, was anybody else thinking this, that Chelsea would announce Caicedo at halftime because it was all, like, so hush-hush. I was thinking for sure, like, something is happening behind the scenes. They're keeping it completely under wraps, and then they're just gonna, like, throw it in Liverpool's faces and bring him out at halftime and be like, "Please welcome Chelsea's newest signing." I really Archie, eh, sorry guys, give me one moment. Archie, no. Look at this little bugger, guys. That he just wants to go outside, and I've been left alone with him. So he's going a little bit crazy. So I'm just going to hold him. Hopefully he calms down a little bit. Um, Yeah, Enzo's performance was amazing, totally agree. What were you guys thinking going into this match? Like, did you predict a 1-1 draw? Because I did predict a draw. I predicted a 2-2 draw. Um, so what did you guys think? Because this kind of played out exactly as I thought it would. And I thought that, Chelsea played good and we were the better team. So I think that we have something to be happy about. Um, Bitches says if Enzo plays with DM, then he will be fire for this season. Totally agree. So let's see if we can get Caicedo signed. I think like that's going to be a really, really crazy midfield if we can make it happen. And I don't know, it looks like we're going to sort that out. So fingers crossed that we do. Why are you talking to your dog in Spanish? He's a bilingual puppy, so he's from Alicante. We live in Madrid, and so I tend to do like commands to him in Spanish. I do speak to him in English, but I think he understands Spanish a little bit more. But he's a bilingual puppy, and he's like struggling a little bit with all of the noises that are in the house. Yeah. Yeah, tot totally, totally, like, he's just a little baby, but look, now he's just in my arms chilling, so he just wants to go outside and run. Um, Joyce predicted a 2-1 win. Honestly, we were really close to seeing that, and on another day, I do think that Chelsea win this game 2-1 or even 3-1. I really felt that it was a strong performance from the team, and I felt that we looked so much more like scoring goals. We were a little bit unlucky. Like I said, Nico Jackson looks phenomenal. I think at the end, do you guys remember that opportunity with Mudryk? I think it was Jackson as well. Like they had a really, really good opportunity and almost scored. So it could have been a completely different game. Um, and we could have won in another day. On another day, we could have won. Nico Drogba regen. I don't want to like say it yet. Like obviously, that's like massive shoes to fill. But I think he's talked about it as well, like how much he admires Didier Drogba. And I think Drogba, if I'm not mistaken, also had the 15 shirt when he first started. So that could be a possibility. Um, Forrester says this is the worst Liverpool will be this season. Chelsea should have capitalized. Maybe, but I also feel that this is a weaker Chelsea team than we might be because, like I've said, the team hasn't had so much time together. Um, they've only had a month or so. It's a really, really, really young squad, and we are missing that defensive presence. So I think um, if slash when we get Caicedo in, that's going to make a big difference. You have signing Kunku for however much this summer, and then he's out injured for 4 months. Like that's super unfortunate. And Chelsea had a lot of their preseason plans based off of him. And he was looking phenomenal when I saw him versus Brighton. He was like my man of the match. He was incredible. So I do think that both sides were maybe weaker than we're going to see them, but it made for a really interesting game. Honestly, I'm glad that Liverpool didn't win at least because I don't think that it would have been merited and they had like an opportunity at the end of the game to take it. But it was a really well matched game. And honestly, I'm just glad to see Chelsea fighting again. I feel that we saw a really good mentality from the team. I felt that we went behind first. We could have seen this go a lot of ways. Wasn't ideal, but kept going, kept pushing. And I think Chelsea now have much more favorable fixtures. I'm just going to take a look at who they have coming up because I do think that Chelsea have a run of games where they can really start to string together some wins. So play West Ham away next week, then Luton at home. Then we have the EFL Cup, Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth away, Aston Villa at home. I think is going to be trickier than maybe people make it out to be. Then Fulham away, Burnley away, and then Chelsea Arsenal October 21st. So you have the opportunity over the next 2 months to really start building something and really start like getting some wins in, getting the confidence going as well. So I think that is looking positive. Um, let's see. Rashi says, need Madueke in that right wing ASAP. Sterling looks weak, can't take on players, can't cross. Hope we sign players soon. I think, like, personally, I do think, like, Madueke will start when he's fit. He's had a hamstring injury, which is why we haven't seen him. I think he's fit enough to make the bench, but he hasn't been training, like, all so much. I have a feeling, like, just from what we saw from Madueke last season and given the team how the team was performing and how they were playing as well. I thought that he was so good. Um, and oh, RTC is another dog. And I think going forward, we could potentially see Madueke start. Let's see. Jackson is carrier of the ball. Ability was on another level. Unlucky not to be on the score sheet. Yeah, I mean, he was incredible. I have him in my fantasy team, so I was a little bit bummed, guys, because I like took a chance on him. I think like people are going to be looking to bring him in, especially for Chelsea's like positive fixtures coming up. But I was bummed that that I brought him in and he didn't get anything, but he looked like he could get something. Yeah, cool, guys. So, I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm taking up the living room and there's other people here. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this match review. If you did, drop it a like, follow me, sub to the channel as well. And honestly, I know it's a draw, but it feels like a win for me because we have improved so much in such a short period of time. So I'm taking this on the chin. I think that there's so many positives to draw. Chelsea are looking good. Attack is looking good. Caicedo will make all the difference, and we're gonna get there. Like it's a transition. It's a transition season, but we're gonna get there. And I'm really excited to see even where we're going to be at in a couple of months' time because I think Poch is the man for the job. So hope that you guys enjoyed the game. Hope that you enjoyed this match review. Have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, bye.